Hi, I'm a guy from Finland. And this is the first page of my diary. The diary begins with the announcement that my wife died 5 days ago. And I feel absolutely terrible. We had been together for 30 years. The first page of my diary is a bit painful to write. I hope everyone can understand what it feels like to lose someone you have spent years with. You are suddenly plunged into the loneliness. You can't believe it's happened. You still wait for your loved one to come into the living room, even though they never will again. Millions of pupils probably experience this all the time. Now, I'm one of them. And worst part is the loneliness, sorrow, and so on. Because I know what there will no longer be the same light in my life. And as a result, I decided to start writing this diary for whole world to see. I can no longer talk about my things with my wife, but I will talk about them with you. If my rambling don't interesting you, you can choose not to listen, just like my wife sometimes did. And now, into my day. I left very early in the morning, escaping my home, a place filled with memories. I left, specially to escape my memories. I had never felt anything like this in my life. I had first loves that ended in pain, but feeling that plunging for the past week is something far worse. A complete sense of loss. Maybe it's similar to what people with panic attacks feels. Or maybe my feeling is just for a milder version of panic attack. When I left, it was around 6:30 in the morning. And I can say that I wander around a lot today. First, I walked 11 kilometers into the city because it felt like the right solution to help with my feelings. The rhythm of steps and the brisk peace clearing my mind. I sometimes just look at the ground, maybe even with cleansed over look, and empty my mind of pain. Of course, I didn't walk in the woods, but regular bike walking path. This is for those readers whose culture only has roads for cars. Walking at least helps me with the pain. I'm quite enjoying walking along this bike path, even consider the distance. For some, walking 11 kilometers one direction, knowing that the return journey will be the same distance, might be depressing experience. But it wasn't for me. Maybe I remember the times when I walked this same path in the dark winter and talked on the phone with my wife. But I quickly pushed those memories aside with sting feeling. I want to believe that one day I can cherish those memories without pain. But today I couldn't. The rip-off day was follows. I enjoyed the cool morning turning into warm day after a moderate cold Finnish winter. A warm spring day is pleasant to experience, especially when the trees already have leaves and nature looks vibrant. I ate twice. First, I had breakfast at a small cafe and later dinner at a large restaurant. And somewhere between, I received a call from Chris Walker, who advised me to take things one small step at a time. At some point, I sat at the church office to arrange the day for a memorial service. My wife, Ern, will be blessed after she has been cremated. And after the blessing, we will bury her in a place where I will also be buried in the future, next to my wife. Then I sat in the center, on a bench, in a church park, and watched the people passing by. I wasn't thinking about anything. Or maybe I was thinking about making this video. The thought cheering me up. I had been searching for friends through the website where and respond to message I received. A lonely man, or in this case, me. Was it particularly hopeful that the exchange of messages would be lead to any kind of friendship? But one can always hope, and one can always think that it is possible to create friendships in Finnish society, even in a short period of time. And then I went to buy some extra equipment for my walk, because YouTube requires good audio. I bought a cheap microphone for myself, and I have already tested. And I think the audio in this video is quite good. A competing model was over 100 euros, but the seller said that the cheap version was better. I believe him. I hope the listeners do too. I walked 11 kilometers back to home. The same pain overwhelmed me. There were many questions that suddenly arose during the phone call towards the end of the journey. I wonder if I should escape the pain and sell my house, which I built myself. How much can a person cry in the week? I pondered some theoretical friends. A person in pain craves a lot of company. But the fact is that no one really has that much time, as much would be needed. Or, at least, I don't know anyone who would have that much time for me. And a lot of it. Only my wife had time for me. This philosophy can lead to frightening conclusions, so I won't continue with it. Short summary of long, flowing stream of words. I escape the pain for a while longer by going for a drive. I went downtown to watch beginning festival that lasted a couple days before returning home to write this diary and show it to you. I would have told all this to my wife, Anne, but now I'm telling to you, to all of you who have enough time to listen to my ramblings. But does anyone really have that much time? Well, I can hope that someone will walk with me as I begin this painful journey. If not, then at least I will walk this painful path on my own. Thank you, listen.